K-Pop live stream. Good to be here. Hopefully this is working. Yep, I think we're starting up. Yep, we're cool. Good. Just mute myself there. Good to be here. Now I'm just going to try and... I've got my phone chat doing the stream. But it's really pissing me off because it seems to go on screensaver all the time. So hopefully, I have a feeling that when I'm actually broadcasting live, it doesn't go to screensaver, but we'll see. I'm good. Stiglitz is good. Stiglitz is not in the vicinity at the moment, I don't think. But who knows? She may appear at some point. Oh yeah, this thing sucks. It goes to screensaver. I don't know how to fix that shit. So yeah, who knows? I guess I'll worry about it later. Good to be here. I'm going to start off as I usually do. I'm just going to go to stream questions. What's up? I'm good. See if you've left anything. Alright, so I got a stream question. Which I'll just show up. Do you think K-pop will be remembered as like a trend of the 2010s and probably the 2020s, like the British invasion in the 60s? Not comparing the two, I know K-pop groups will probably not be remembered as the best musical acts of the century, or will it still be as popular in the future, or just completely forgotten? I don't know. I think it... as long as the same market conditions exist that currently exist for K-pop, I don't see why it shouldn't continue. No real reason for it to stop. However, I'm sure it won't sound in 30 years' time like it does now. Just like the music is this, there's still pop music now, like commercial pop music, but it doesn't sound like the commercial pop music of the 60s. And I know eventually people might categorise it in certain ways. During the British invasion, pretty sure no one actually considered it to be the British invasion. But I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe they did. Yeah, who knows? Can't really answer that. It's a good question, but don't really know the answer. It might be like what doo-wop is now, where people know a few of the big groups, like everybody knows. Or even do they know? I'm trying to think of doo-wop groups that are big. I was thinking of Supremes, but they came afterwards. Maybe it will be forgotten. Who knows? I don't know. Sorry, that's not a very good answer, is it? So I'll get back to the stream anyway. I got a good question this time. Yeah, hit me up with your good question. I'd like a good question. That would be cool. Feel free to ask whatever. So I'm a little bit seedy today. I had a gig last night, went real late, and yeah, I got plenty of sleep, but I still feel kind of crap. So I'm going to be a little bit vague on this stream. I've sort of got the hoarse radio voice going on. Probably, I'm sure K-pop vocal analysis would be very upset by the state of my vocal cords. But yeah, I'm here. I made it. That's the main thing. While I'm waiting for you guys to talk to me, I'll just grab it on a bit. Hang on. So I was talking to a friend about this, and both of us were like, "Yeah, wow, no clue why this doesn't happen." I'll wait till you've written the whole thing out before I answer it. We might be waiting a while. I don't know how quick you type. I'll just talk about some random shit. I made a couple posts this week. I did a fan fiction because people have been asking for a fan fiction for a while, and I think my blog's gone from maybe a few too many fan fictions to maybe not enough. So I thought it was a good time. And that Stardate Irene stuff was just begging for a fan fiction. I think it came out fairly well. So reads alright. Haven't been sued by SM yet, which is cool. So that's good. And yeah, I enjoyed the I enjoyed reading it back. I thought it worked out alright. The cliche with that sort of story, I guess, is to have the would be to have the wife be the instigator who actually created it. That's a typical twist ending in that kind of thing. But I decided not to do that because I figured that would be, I don't know, not as interesting as going in a different direction. Go back to the question from 420. The topic is, we know that trainee trading does happen between companies, but what about companies buying out contracts of an idol from another one? For example, what is stopping JYP buying out Chungha's contract and putting her in the upcoming girl group? As far as I know, there are no examples of this occurring. Yeah, I can't think of an example either. There's no reason why it couldn't, however. Yeah, it's not something I've heard of happening, but yeah, I mean, theoretically, they'd have to really want them badly, I guess, because I mean, the whole point of the idol system is that the idols, when they're new, they are really expendable, basically, and if they don't like you, they'll just sort of grab another one from off the rack, you know, and if because they're using the same system to make them a star or whatever, theoretically anyone could be a star. So, so there's probably very little motivation for companies to do that unless we're talking about someone huge. It'd have to be like a, you know, like a Susie tier or an IU tier person, where a deal like that would be done because there's actually some sort of stock in the actual person. Yeah, yeah, IOI girls, I guess, do have some value, but yeah, it's I don't think it's quite the same. Um, I mean, yeah, it's a lower value. I think it's to buy out a contract, it'd be expensive, and you know, there's just be no point unless you're going to really get something that was like a guaranteed hit. I mean, someone like, I don't know, Chaeyeon from Dyer or Deer or whatever. Um, I mean, you wouldn't buy her out, would you? Really? I mean, yeah, she's an II girl and she's well known, but you know, is she really going to take off? I mean, she's not really. I mean, Dyer's not really taking off just because she's in them. So, I mean, yeah, it's a questionable value in doing that, I think. Um, how are you coping with the Steam waifu purge? I went and bought a bunch of those adult games from Steam because, um, yeah, you know, like for those who don't know what's going on, a lot of the adult games from Steam, including some of the ones that I featured in my post about Monster X's Wonho, a lot of them are now being given an order by Valve that they have to clean up their act and get rid of all their erotic content, or they'll be ditched off of Steam by the end of the month. Not really sure what's behind it. Steam, as to my knowledge, haven't made any statements about it, but it seems to be like conservative Christian sort of parenting sort of groups, you know, exerting their pressure, which is generally how censorship works. It's usually the extreme nutty Christians. That's always what it's been throughout history, in the US anyway, because Valve, an American company, the extreme nutty Christians getting all up in arms about sex. You know, violence is fine. You can shoot people in the head all you want on Steam, but you can't see a boob. So I don't know. I think it's a bit messed up. So I splashed out a bit of money on some adult games. Right now, I've got the top rated review for a game called Mutiny, which is at the forefront of this sort of business. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. um, and I wrote a review for it. Here we are. I don't even like visual novels that much, and this game is some weird furry nonsense that I'm just not into at all, which is true. But I bought it anyway, plus all the DLC to support the developer and protest Valve's enforced censorship and inconsistent policies regarding adult content. So, and yeah, and that's the highest rated review on there at the moment. This one's from a friend who basically said the same thing. If you want to add me on Steam, go for it. Bonzo Kitten, that's my name there. So yeah, I put my money where my mouth is as far as that sort of stuff goes. You know, I don't like censorship, so there you have it. Moving on. Thanks for introducing me to Vincent. Yeah, Vincent's not bad actually. Like I wasn't that keen on one of his songs, but he's got a really good song on his album, on his mini album that's got Sandy in it as well. Who I really like Sandy. Sandy from School Rapper. If you want to watch a cool TV show, Korean TV show, like Produce 48 bullshit, and what's the other one? I can't even remember the unit. Yeah, watch School Rapper. School Rapper's cool. So, goes to our value. Yeah. Back to the. Yeah, no, I guess I've said all I wanted to say about the companies buying out idols. Not that I really care about it, but yeah, never seen it happen, and I think there's a reason. It's because the idol system is designed so interchangeable. And I mean, sure, Chaeyeon's a star or whatever, but there's no reason why they couldn't get their own by training them up. So, yeah, I don't know. So K-pop K-fans translated some thread about why rock is not prominent in Korea. Some of the comments are like, because rock is not vocal centered, but so is Korean idol pop, I think. What do you think about this? I just think it's a more conservative culture in general in Korea. I don't think it's got anything to do with vocals because, you know, I mean, when K-pop really exploded in around the place, auto-tune was really big. And you know, almost like every second Idol song had auto tune in like 2008, 2009, 2010, right? So you know, a lot of the classic songs had the robot voice on them. So that's partly what it is. And the vocal centric thing, I think it sort of comes and goes in waves. Vocal centric doesn't necessarily mean it's about skilled vocals. Means the vocals are at the forefront of the song, which is true for idol pop. The vocals carry song, not the music, whereas in rock the riffs carry the song, the vocals are secondary. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Have you already found the next trend to dislike after Tropical Shit House? No, I haven't. Very good question. I haven't found it. I mean, there's a few trends I haven't covered yet, which I probably should at some point. But yeah, nothing's really bothering me at this stage all that much, for want of a better term. Thoughts on high-profile Western artists being featured in K-pop tracks? I'm interested to see the result of Grimes' feature. I don't know. Does it matter? You see, in K-pop, this came up on my Ask FM 2 today. It's silly to just sort of stand the artist because the artists don't write their own music, right? But then it's silly to stand the composer to a degree because the composer's just writing to a format that's laid down for them by somebody in the company or whatever. But then it's also silly to stand the company because personnel change at the company all the time, and someone who's making the decisions about what a song is going to sound like may not be making those decisions next week. So just stand nobody. It's easier. But where that relates to Grimes is that someone asked me, oh, you know, you're going to hate it because, you know, you don't like Grimes. But, you know, Grimes might be getting told to write something particular. Like, Like Shinsadong Tiger, he's always got a certain type of track that he wrote for Tiara, but he's also got a certain very different sounding track that he'd always write for A-Pink. And all the A-Pink songs from Tiger sound fairly similar, and all the Tiara songs from Tiger sound fairly similar. But the Tiara songs from Tiger and the A-Pink songs from Tiger sound nothing like each other. And that's what he's obviously being told by someone, we want this, MBK say to him, look, we want this particular thing for Tiara, and whoever's doing A-Pink says we want that. So yeah, just because composer's on something doesn't mean anything. So Grimes, it might be good, it might not. I mean, I personally don't like Grimes music, just generally speaking, but that doesn't mean there isn't someone over at Blockberry who gives them a bit of direction. When you've been creative, if you're writing songs, because I mean, part of my music teaching is I teach people how to write music and how to be creative in general. And with creativity, it's easier to be creative if you've got guidelines. So if a company is giving you guidelines within which to work, that actually makes it easier for you to do your job to be creative. Excuse me. So for instance, if if you're in English class and your teacher says, write a story, it can be about anything you want, you've got an hour, then you spend like half an hour just thinking, what the fuck am I going to write? It's really hard to do that because you've got to think up the whole idea yourself. But if, your English teacher says to you, all right, you can write a story, you can go any way you want, but there's got to be two guys, there's got to be one girl, there's got to be a robbery, there's got to be $1 million, and at the end of that, only one of them is allowed to live. Just as an example. So now, if you're reasonably alert-minded, unlike me right now, you've probably already thought in your head, okay, I know who's going to live at the end, and I know who's going to get the $1 million. So, already you've got a template, and then you can start working within that. It's much easier to create and the more guidelines you have, the easier it is to create. Of course, you have too many guidelines, and it starts to become uncreative because you just, playing colour in between the lines. You know what I mean? But total freeform is hard to do as well. So having guidelines are good. And so if Grimes gets some good guidelines, she might just come up with something cool. Or if not, then it might just be shit, like Grimes usually is. But we'll see. What K-pop Western artist collabs would you like to see come to life? I don't really care. I guess for the reason I just stated, it doesn't really matter to me. And yeah, I don't know. Do you own a Ushkana Russian hat? I don't know. Ushenka, is that how you say it? I don't know. No, I don't. I own a few hats, but I don't even know what that even means. All I know is because I don't know what it means, so therefore I guess I must not own one, right? But I don't know, are they those kind of fez things that they wear in the army, in the Russian army? I don't even know. K-pop imitating your fanfic when some Twice member was excluded from taking pictures because they were 0.1 kg too heavy. Yeah, well, that's referring to the fanfic Any Armies Here. If you haven't checked out Any Armies Here, you should. I get told a lot of stuff off the record by various folks that I obviously can't name, and so I pretty much know what goes on, right, with a lot of things, but no one wants to be the one to say, I told you that. So sometimes I just drop it into a fan fiction, and there's a little bit of that going on in that story. Any Armies Here, I just stuck it in the channel feed. So yeah, if you haven't read that, read it at some point, and you'll see that it echoes very closely. Some of the latest stuff was Twice, where they were told during their trainee days that they had to do the weigh-in and be under a certain kilo amount and all that sort of stuff. It's not just for looks, it's also willingness of the idol to follow orders and do what they're told. It's a test. It's a mentally testing them, which is really fucked up. But you know, are you going to change it? Probably not. Yeah, okay, I know what the Russian hat is now, but no, I don't have one. So I can't do Russia face for you, unfortunately. I've never even seen one for sale here. I mean, Russia and Australia are pretty geographically far away, so um, it's probably not a big ticket item. Um, do I own a German Army jacket? No, I don't own any cool German Army stuff because my grandfather was in the German Army, but my dad never was. And you know, most people who are in the German Army, because I mean, if you were German and you were of a certain age, you were in the army, you can get a choice. You know, everyone got drafted into the army by the end of the war. And my grandfather was in it. He did artillery. I don't know what you call people who do artillery, but they had one of those cannons where you got the one guy points the thing and does the windy thing, and the other one puts the mortar shell in, and then they go and it goes over the hill, and maybe someone dies or maybe they don't. And so he's got no idea how many people he killed, or if he even killed anybody, or you know, he's got no clue. He's not around anymore, but he yeah, I imagine that he, you know, they didn't want to fight for the Nazis, they just had no choice, so he probably got rid of all his German stuff. Do you think the reason why YG keeps saying Blackpink come back soon, etc.? Well, clearly always bullshitting. He's just doing it because it's free buzz and it gets people talking, keeps the group relevant, etc. So it's just a free marketing tactic. Well, I mean, the thing is with delays in comebacks is that there's all sorts of reasons for it. Like EXO had a big break right at their first peak of popularity, because Chris just sort of pissed off for a while, and he just fucked off back to Canada, and they tried to get him back. And there was a whole bunch of drama around that. I don't know how much you people know about that, but yeah, he just basically went AWOL, I believe, and because he was just over being an EXO for whatever reason. So yeah, things like that happen. They can delay comebacks, or also it can just be, you know, they can't find songs that are good enough, which I would certainly believe in YG's case, because I mean, when you think about it, the last Blackpink song that came out was a song that was written 6 years ago. So if they're digging out songs from 6 years ago and releasing them now, that means they haven't really got any new songwriters doing anything decent. And they're like, oh shit, what do we put out? So fans want to come back, don't know what to, oh, we got this old song in the vault, it's kind of alright, let's put it out. So I think, so maybe there's a writer's block going on, or maybe the songwriter for Blackpink's having some personal issues, or maybe there's some other issues going on. Maybe one of the girls is having some issues and that's holding things up. You don't know. There's all sorts of reasons for it. It's not necessarily always, you know, the bastard company being a bastard. I mean, sometimes it is. I mean, with YG, it's fairly likely, but you don't really know. It could be all sorts of other things too. He doesn't. I'm sure YG didn't start Blackpink and think to himself, "Gee, I really want to have a group where the release is just one little thing, and then I'll just mess around for a year." You know, I'm sure that wasn't his business plan. So I'd be very surprised if he's just fucking with you. There's probably something going on that you don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is, and it's holding things up. It's probably something very specific. What's your take on Psy ending this relationship with YG? Well, he doesn't need YG anymore, let's face it. He's a brand of his own now. Most people wouldn't even know who listen to Psy wouldn't even know who YG is anyway. So he's done YG no favors. So it's probably all for the best. Um, can we expect you not to scroll through netizen bullshit anymore here on the live stream? Actually, netizen bullshit is a really good substitute name for netizen buzz, don't you reckon? I think so. So I might just go to might just go and add that in. Netizen buzz. Netizen bullshit. There we go. Update. So yeah, that's in reference to the boycott tracker post. So here I've got all K-pop. Everybody knows about my all K-pop boycott. I would hope by now. I don't link them. I don't mention them by name in any stuff. If someone posts me a link to all K-pop, I just get rid of the link, etc. So I've decided to extend this special treatment over to Netizen Buzz because, yeah, why not? It's pretty clearly laid out in the post, I think. I mean, I don't even know what's going on over there in Netizen Buzz land. I wouldn't know. But I mean, probably someone like Asian Junkie knows more about it than me, because he, I believe, has had some conversations with her at one point back in the day. I'm much further out of the loop with what Netizen Buzz is really doing than Asian Junkie or anyone like that. So but what I think's going on is, I mean, she used to editorialise a lot, and she'd have a lot of real anti-tiara editorialisation. But nowadays, she just fucking shuts up about everything, which is really interesting. So I think either she's just bailed out on the site completely and maybe just sold it off because she got sick of doing it, or just doesn't give a fuck anymore. So either way, it's a shitty site, and yeah, I don't think I'll bother scrolling through. I mean, the last couple of streams I've scrolled through that site, I found absolutely fuck all to talk about. So, what's the point? Let's just shut them down, shut them out. Reading your text. Are you going to keep trolling that one guy's asking for your opinion about the G-Friend song for the last couple of weeks? It's more than one guy, it's quite a few of you. Alright, so I'll finally talk about the G-Friend song. Just for you all. And oh, look, time for me to end the stream. That's all. Goodbye. Just kidding. Yeah, that's alright. It's okay. Do I like it as much as the songs of theirs I really like? No. But it's reasonable. Someone asked me if it sounds like an anime tune, and I guess it kind of does. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even listen to those tunes, but yeah. AJ used to write for all K-pop. So did NB. AKF, I'm not sure about if he did or not, but Asian Junkie definitely did, and NB definitely did, or did AJ? I don't know. A lot of good people came through all K-pop, which is really weird. Don't know how it attracts all these, reasonably intelligent folks. I mean, even Netizen Buzz, even though I don't like her, I mean, she's not stupid. So, and yeah, she's still one level above Johnny No. This is not related to K-pop, but what do you think about news media blaming music for bad things that happen in the world? Recently in Burgerland, there was a school shooting, and the school had a Facebook cover photo of an album that happened to have satanic imagery. Humorously enough, a track in the album is called "Humans Are Such Easy Prey." Well, I don't know. I think it's stupid. I mean, wasn't the biggest mass shooting ever in America over the last year at a country music concert? Some country music fan just got up in his hotel room and just got a bunch of assault rifles and just started spraying people. obviously music's got nothing to do with it. Um, if you're that unbalanced that a music album's going to set you off, then you had some issues before. You know what I mean? And satanic imagery. So what? Most satanic ideology is actually more caring and sensible than the Bible. There's plenty of slaughtering of innocent people in the Bible. God drowns the entire world at some point, and the body count in the Bible is really high. The body count in the satanic Bible is really low. So yeah, just putting it out there. But yeah, they've been trying to blame violence on music for years. It used to be heavy metal that copped the heat. It's in the 80s, like with the Judas Priest trial, like how you've mentioned there. Lately, the focus has been more on rap music because, just the way the conservative people work, they're scared of black folks and all that sort of stuff. A lot of them, and that combined with the violence in the music, I don't know, it's all crap, really. If music actually killed people, there'd be a ton more dead people than there actually are. It just doesn't disarm us. Worry about. It's funny they worry about controlling the music instead of controlling the weapons. Anything but that in America, hey. But there you go. And KMFDM, bloody hell. Imagine taking KMFDM seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about politics, but in the US, I think there is, everyone wants to say, oh, it's a mental health problem, but then you don't really have a mental health system in the US. So, all the people who are saying, oh, it's not the gun control problem, it's a mental health problem. They're all the ones who don't want to have healthcare in the country. So it's very strange situation. You'd think they'd be pushing it more. Anyway, weird. I don't understand that country. Everyone else in the world is trying to figure out you Americans. We can't do it. We're just like, what the fuck you guys on? Mad. Anyway, what else? I had a nightmare after reading your recent fanfic success. Hopefully you enjoyed it in some weird way. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. So I'll finish the stream off now. And yeah, YG's does have a lot of bullshit going on in their propaganda, but then so do all the others. So, it's just what music marketing is. It's just bullshit. It's just trying to find a way to sell stuff. And before we go, just say hello to Stiglitz, who's just turned up. So anyway, I'm out of here, and I might play some games later, and you can watch if you feel like watching an old man really suck at computer games. It might be fun for you, or I might not, even bother doing that. I don't know. Tell me if you actually like me doing the game stuff or not. I don't mind doing it, but then I don't mind not doing it too. Yeah, well, if I dragged it out for an hour, I think I'd run out of shit to say. I don't want to be sitting here waiting for you guys to ask stuff all the time. I guess we'll see popular demand, but at the moment there's not really a lot of stream engagement. At the moment I've only got about a dozen people watching, and it's just like, well, do I really want to spend more time for just a dozen people. It's yeah, I don't know. I'd like to do it for more. If there was a lot of interest, I'd do it for longer. But there's not heaps and heaps of interest at the moment. So it just is a niche thing. It's just a little extra bonus for your readers who just like to really follow the blog and stuff like that. So, um, yeah. But hopefully you do enjoy the streams, and I will keep doing them. I'm not going to stop because you really have no reason to stop. So I just keep at it. And now you get to watch a cat ass. Good one. Alright. Okay, I'm out of here. I'll make Cuphead. Yeah, I got to buy Cuphead. Maybe. Alright, cool. You're on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get Cuphead, and I'm going to play it for you on the stream. So I'm going to close this stream off now, and thank you all for being here. And if you want to keep talking shit, do it. But I'll do it with Cuphead. And by the way, this phone thing's really pissing me off, so I'm going to fix that. If I can work out how. Because what's supposed to happen with this thing is the chat's supposed to come up on here, and it does, but the screensaver kicks in. And last time I did a stream, the screensaver didn't kick in. I was like, oh cool, it automatically doesn't do the screensaver when I'm on Twitch. But this time it is, and I don't know why. So I'll try and figure this shit out. Anyway, I'll be back in a little while doing some game stuff. And thanks for watching once again. I'll be back next week with more K-pop.